Hi, I'm Kendra with Where's the Moon Astrology, and today I'm talking about Gemini and Libra compatibility. Now, Gemini is mutable air and Libra is cardinal air. So this is actually a really nice pairing because it's a trine aspect. This means that they form an easy aspect to one another in the zodiac. They're both in the air element. That means they have the same element. So this means they have a lot of understanding naturally. They naturally understand each other very well. Gemini is those mutable ideas. So they can really change their minds a lot. The thing that I've noticed about Gemini is not that they change their minds a lot without their two-face, which is their negative reputation, but more that they easily change their ideas with changing information. So while one sign may be pretty stuck on an idea, they may be pretty stuck on a particular way of thinking, and they get attached to, Gemini has, maybe say Gemini agrees with them. It's like a fixed sign or something like that, maybe Taurus. And Gemini agrees with them. Then they take in new information and they change. Their nature changes. Their ideas about things change. The things that they're saying change because they are processing information in a mutable, changeable way, and they're almost doing it out loud. They can really process information verbally a lot of the time as well. So when they change their perspective, that can really offend someone who's a little more fixed or someone who's a little, not airy. Airy people are very logical and very connected to the realm of ideas. So it can really offend somebody who's got these set ideas and set ways of thinking to experience that mutable nature from someone. However, with Libra, you're not going to encounter that as much. Gemini won't encounter that as much from Libra. Libra is fair-minded. Libra is the scales. They are cardinal ideas. Libra's not going to find Gemini's changeable nature as offensive because they are fair-minded. And I've actually seen that Gemini and Libra have a lot of things in common in the way that they approach ideas. Because while you have Gemini who changes with changing information, their mind changes with changing information, Libra is very balanced. So they're not really ascribing to one idea or the other ever. Maybe Gemini seems that they're identifying with one particular perspective more, and that's why people find them so two-faced. That's something that Gemini gets a lot. But Libra never really identifies with one perspective at all. They can come off very detached in the realm of ideas because they are so fair-minded. They can see both sides of a situation, they can see two different perspectives, and understand, most of the time, they understand that they both have equal merit. Unless something's totally ridiculous, then Libra probably will totally discard that perspective. But Libra is going to have a much more disassociated relationship with ideas. So, in that way, Gemini will have a harder time offending Libra. Gemini can talk and talk and talk and, show Libra all the different sides of their mental process. They can show them all the different things going on in their mind. They can talk to them about these ideas and even present two different, very conflicting perspectives as something that they can identify with. Even within the same sentence, Gemini can do this. But Libra is relatively unfazed by that. Libra is so fair-minded and so logical and airy and intellectual themselves that they can really take Gemini's changeable nature with a grain of salt, and instead of getting offended or, you don't identify with the same perspective that you identified with yesterday, and that was the perspective that I liked. That can be a lot of signs, but Libra is going to be more stimulated by Gemini's need for communication, a need for, looking at the situation from a variety of different sides. That's something Gemini is very good at, and something that Libra can appreciate, being that they're so fair-minded. Libra loves to look at a variety of different sides and a variety of different perspectives. So it's almost, I feel like they would actually appreciate that about Gemini, whereas some people would be offended. They could actually really enjoy going back and forth. And these are two signs who could really engage in debate and enjoy it together instead of becoming too offended because they are too identified with their perspectives. They can really feed off of each other and offer more different perspectives. And just, I think it could be a very good combination for communication, for intellectual stimulation, etc. I think also Gemini and Libra, being air signs, they can have a lot of fun together. Probably it would be very centered on the relational dynamic of their relationship. They would be able to communicate with each other a lot. And it's, they're both air signs, so they're both very relational by nature. So they would enjoy having communication with one another, and they would enjoy bouncing those ideas off of each other. That would be considered fun for them. It would be a good way that they could spend time together. And they, being an air sign, they're also just kind of playful in general. I think if you added a little fire in there, it would be really, really playful. Air and fire together are so playful and fun, but even just two air signs together can be really playful, and they would probably be very banter-centric. They'd probably love bantering together. Another thing is that Libra can be very kind of nurturing to Gemini, Gemini being this kind of nervous energy, very nervous actually. Libra can, being so others-centered, Libra's very others-focused, and as they might not care so much for other people in a practical way, like Virgo, for instance, but they would be very connected to their partner intellectually, and they would care about what their partner's going through, and they would offer, a shoulder to cry on. They would offer, someone to talk to. They would be very concerned with what Gemini is going through when they're experiencing some anxiety problems or whatever. They would offer Gemini someone to kind of project their stuff onto and kind of be this measured, balanced person in their lives. Now for the negative side of Gemini and Libra. I don't see that there's going to be a lot of issues here, honestly, but there are potential pitfalls with every sign combination, no matter how compatible. And one of the problems with the trine in general is that there's too much of one thing in the relationship. And it's too easy and it's too flowing. And I think with Gemini and Libra, the problem can be that they get too caught up in the world of ideas, and there's not a lot of grounding in the relationship. They're too disconnected from the material realm. And of course, this will change if you have a lot of earth mixed into your different charts. One person has a lot of earth, maybe one person has a lot of water. This could keep you a little more grounded, but in general, air signs together, when you have a lot of air, I think that would be a combination that would be really conducive to spending too much time in the world of ideas, being a little bit disconnected from everyday reality and things that need to be going on. Libra, while fair-minded and while able to absorb the many different perspectives that Gemini has to throw at them, is ruled by Venus and therefore can be a little bit lazy, a little bit lacking in passion. So I think that could actually agitate Gemini's anxiety a little bit because they feel that, they have all this nervous energy, so much like activity going on, and they really want to expel some energy. They really want to expel nervous energy. And Libra's just kind of doing their Libra thing, they're just kind of being lazy at home, enjoying sensual pleasure. That's not just the realm of Taurus. Libra is very much, they love their sensual pleasures as well. So I feel that, there could be a little bit of nervous agitation going on Gemini's end. And Libra could find Gemini a little bit too concerned with ideas. Even though, yeah, they're able to absorb a lot of that, Libra is very people-focused and very relationship-focused. So when Gemini just wants to be in that intellectual realm all the time, and they really just want to be talking about ideas, and they want to be, discussing things all the time, and they really want that activity all the time, Libra might be a little bit more inclined to want to spend time with Gemini, and they might really want that one-on-one personal connection, and especially in the context of a romantic relationship, they might find Gemini a little too distractible. They're both pretty distractible signs. I actually find these two signs very, very similar. The only difference I see is that Libra is very relationship-focused, and that's not really a strong trait of Gemini. They are relational, being an air sign, but I don't see them being very catering to the needs of others. They don't have that like sensitivity to others' feelings and what is going on with other people the way Libra naturally does. They're others focused. That's what Libra is all about. So they might find Gemini a little bit too disconnected relationally, or feel them disconnected in the context of a relationship. In general, though, I do find that this combination of signs is very good together, because even if these issues do pop up, they're so intellectual, they're so able to separate fact from emotion, that they would really be able to talk things out. They'd really be able to offer each other their perspectives, and they're both so fair-minded, unless you add a little fire in there or something like that, it's unlikely to be very explosive when they need to talk through their issues. They can really come at each other from a logical perspective. I think that it's going to be very, very complementary between these two signs. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Gemini and Libra compatibility. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I did want to remind you that I have all kinds of relationship readings and a variety of other kinds of readings in my store. I'm leaving the link to that in the description of this video. Again, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great day.